Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Magic with Zuby. My name is Zuby, and if you're brand new to this show is all about a little well-known card game called Magic the Gathering. We are back! Finally! After, I don't know how many months of this house shit, we're like right at the finish line with the house. I mean, as you can see behind me, I don't even have curtains yet and all that. I've got, some of my stuff made up behind. And it's been an insane 2021 being displaced out of the house, having the house flood. And then we got COVID right after that. And then we had to be displaced and live in a hotel for like over a month. And then coming here and living while there's construction going on. Oh, it's just been insanity. But we're back with another episode. And I brought on an amazing person who is so cool. His name is Kurohitsuki, and he is a Magic the Gathering Twitch streamer, and just had an overall great time talking with him about everything Magic. We talked a lot of Magic, and then just some other stuff too, which you'll see if you listen to the entire episode. So before we begin, let's get a few little things out of the way. Magic Zuby does have a Patreon. You can help the show by subbing to the Patreon at patreon.com/magicwithzuby. And there are also some other things as well. We also have a Discord, a Magic for Normies Discord that Pixie and I do. And you can find me on Twitter at mtgzuby, on Instagram at magic_with_Zuby. You can find me on TikTok at mtgzuby or at magicwithzuby. One of them, I can't remember. It'll be linked below and all that, I think. And then we are found on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, and Spotify. And we are also sponsored by cardsphere.com, the best place to buy, trade, and sell your Magic singles. And just overall great company to be with there as well too. So let's get into the interview with Kuro, and I hope you really all enjoy it. Be going, and hey everybody, I'm back. It's been crazy couple of months for myself personally, and I'm back with an amazing, awesome guest that I'm super excited to bring on the show. That's Kurohitsuki. How are you doing?
Good. Hello. How are you?
Oh man, 2021 has been insanity, say the least.
Sure has. Sure has.
Man,
everyone's died.
God, it's like for people who don't know, and for any listeners who may not be aware, it's I had a flood recently back in January, and it's been like it upheaved our entire life for the past couple months, and we're just now finally getting back to normal.
Mm-hmm.
It's been insane. You ever been through anything like that before?
No, luckily not. But like every time I would always hear about stories of just like the flooding and Magic cards and whatnot. I'm just like, oh gosh, I gotta keep these things as high as possible.
Oh man, so crazy thing is, so the flood happened in our master bathroom, and I kept all my Magic collection here in my office where I am. But like what you're seeing is just like sort of the back end of the office. I had my Magic collection near the front of the office, and some of the water actually got into the office and right next to all my Magic collection, and I'm just like, oh my god.
Jeez.
Yeah, that would have been bad. And then I ended up having to sell my entire collection anyway. So
right. Well, I mean, luckily you were able to do so, and it wasn't water damage. Yeah.
Oh god, yeah. I mean, I was planning on getting rid of it anyway because it was just getting to be too much. I had too much stuff, and I just wanted to keep my EDH decks, and that was it.
Right.
And so finally got rid of that. I was a little sad because it happened all of a sudden, and now I just have EDH decks, and it's weird not buying product like every time a new set comes out now.
Yeah, I feel that. That was a weird transition for me too, but
I say that as I have a box of Jumpstart and a Precon on my shelf.
Yeah, I do see that back there, but yeah.
I guess I just mean like more because I would always buy like either like a few booster boxes of every set and stuff like that in bundles, but now I haven't even done that in I don't know how long now.
Yeah, absolutely. I was the same way. I think I pretty much had like no less than four of each like standard set.
Yeah.
Up until like 2019, and then And then like for the special sets like Modern Horizon stuff, I would have like at least one box of those. I
Yeah,
still have a
yeah.
couple packed up.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So I actually learned about you after I had Mari on the stream
Oh.
because, or on the podcast. I mean, because I was asking her like if she knows anybody else out there that I could think of,
Mm-hmm.
interviewing and all that. And I think you were one of the first people she brought up, and just
Yeah.
I liked it because as soon as I reached out to you, you and I just like clicked like
Yeah,
that and just
absolutely.
started talking back and forth about I can't remember like EDH I think it was
Yeah. Yep.
and
Yep. I think we've played on stream together at least like
yeah.
3 times now.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's been fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, that the first time we played with Mari, that was
Right.
actually the next day I had to leave the
Mhm.
house and go live in a
Right. Yep.
hotel for a month, and oh god, that
I remember
sucked.
that. Yeah. Yep. I remember that.
Yeah, that was fun times.
Yeah.
So you're a Twitch streamer mainly,
Yes.
and
Mm-hmm.
you're also a Magic judge as well too.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
How long have you been a judge for? And what level were you a judge before the whole was it the whole rework was done and
Yeah. Yeah. So I used to work in a magic store, and that's when I got my judgeship. So I think I was a judge. I think 3 years into working there. So I mean, by now it's been 4 to 5 years as a judge. Yeah.
yeah. What level did you get up to or
I
what
got to level 1. Yeah, just
okay.
just level 1. I did have aspirations for 2, but I missed my chances a couple times, and then by then now it's COVID, and uh, go finding
Yeah.
events in first place is increasingly difficult.
Well, you're
Yeah.
up in New York and how's it been how's the pandemic been like ever since vaccinations have been coming out and
It's been decent. Like I don't know. Like I haven't had. I've only had maybe like 2 family members that have gotten it, and they got over it, which is good.
yeah, that's good.
And then like friend wise, I haven't had too many really affected, just like having gotten it. But I mean, it was a long while where we were in like orange or whatever the colors are, and yeah, we just like couldn't go to any restaurants. We still couldn't. The thing is, Buffalo, New York, it's where I'm from. It's kind of weird because we have other townships within the area. So like the city was orange, but
Okay.
I could go up the road down Main Street even, and then like restaurants would be open
Hmm.
ish. Like still low capacity, but still
Yeah.
open. So it was very, very weird.
Well,
But
it actually seemed like your state actually tried to follow COVID guidelines.
the state did mainly because New York City is there, and they
Yeah.
had to do a lot.
Yeah.
And like the New York City restrictions kind of like affected kind of our policy here. Like we couldn't travel anywhere outside of the immediate Buffalo area for
That's
a while,
crazy. That's crazy.
without having to like quarantine for 2 weeks. So
Yeah.
it's like I couldn't like make plans even to like travel to like a friend's wedding, because it's just like if I did, well, that's 2 weeks off of work guaranteed, that I would have to take. So yeah, it was a little difficult for a while, but
Oh, I
we're getting
bet.
through it.
I bet it's crazy, like just how, like it's just interesting hearing like how each state is handling it. Because I mean, Florida basically acted like COVID was over last summer, and it's
Mhm.
been even now with all the vaccines rolling out, it's even more so. And I mean, things have relaxed a lot more in Florida
Mhm.
in term because now that they've opened up vaccinations to everyone, it's been a
Right.
little bit more relaxed. But I'm still wearing a mask and all that stuff.
Yeah, a
Even
hundred
in
percent.
yeah.
I work in retail, so I'm gonna be wearing the mask even
Oh man,
after I get the vaccine for the rest of the year at least.
God, it's yeah. I'm in healthcare, so even when I have to go visit a hospital, which I have not been to a hospital since this entire thing started. Wait, no, that's a lie. I went to one hospital
Mhm.
sometime last year. And but yeah, it's because before the whole pandemic, like I used to have to travel the country to go to hospitals hospital to hospital and all that stuff. And
Mhm.
now it's kind of not looking forward to it. Like, I'm looking forward to traveling again, but not looking forward to
Right.
going into hospitals again.
Right. Right. Yeah.
But
And there's probably a lot of regulations that you have to go through too.
yeah.
Do you have to quarantine like before you head to like the
Um,
next one or anything? Or
I don't know yet
Mm,
because, like I said, my company like kind of ceased all traveling when the pandemic happened,
right.
and for us to be able to travel again, we have to get vaccinated. It's not like the company's forcing us to, but if we want to travel, they recommend getting it. And as far as quarantining, we don't have any information on that yet. So,
Mhm.
I mean, I kind of hope not. Well, I mean, I work at home anyway, so it's
Right.
not like it'd
Okay.
make much of a difference. But
Mhm. Well,
yeah,
well, just keep your mask on and just stay vigilant.
right, right,
Yeah.
yeah. It's been very interesting year and a half. I'll have to
Yeah.
say it's been
Uh,
and it's like I think are how old are you? I'm
27.
30, 27. Okay, so
Mhm.
yep, we're a few years apart. I'm
Mhm.
35, right? Yeah, I'm 35. But it's I was talking with my sister a couple months ago, and it's like our generation, all that stuff has
Yeah.
been through how much craziness now,
Quite
and
a lot.
y-
Quite a
y-
bit.
I mean, you look back to you're 27, so you were born what, early 90s or
93. Yeah,
93?
93.
Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, you definitely would have remembered 9/11. Um,
Yep.
and then like the whole Iraq Afghanistan war, the
Yep.
recession,
Mhm.
God, and then Trump, the whole Trumpism.
Mhm.
God, I feel like there's something else
Well,
before
there's
that.
everything, like
Oh,
everything else,
everything
honestly.
else, right?
Yeah.
And then
I mean, just technology in and of itself, like just the rise of
God,
social media, starting with MySpace even, and then watching just everything flow from there. It's a lot. It's a lot of change. A lot of change to like be almost completely cognizant of, right? It wasn't something that we were we were born um while everything when things were starting. It's just like kind of lived through every change, just put like with schooling, right?
oh
It's like
yeah,
you have the change of technology there. You go from chalk to the projector screens to smart
yeah,
boards to tablets, and then I'm out of school now, but now I hear everyone's walking around with an iPad, which would have been sweet.
yeah, oh
But
yeah.
yeah, it's just like those changes like that. It's yeah, having to live very aware like through all of that is weird. It certainly shapes you.
Yeah, I mean, you bring up a good point, especially with social media. I mean, just how much that's changed society as a whole, right?
Right.
Like how, God, I mean, I just look at my kids, right? It feels like it's almost impossible to get them off the smartphone and all that
Mhm.
stuff, um, and it's crazy just how that just warps their perception and just of like wanting to be popular, right?
Right. Right.
Wanting to become a YouTuber or something like that. And
Mhm.
I have to tell them like that's not exactly a career choice. Like, yeah, if it happens, awesome, great.
Right.
Try to go for that, but don't put all your eggs in that basket because
Right. Right. Right.
especially nowadays, it's so hard to like even like become successful in streaming or
Right.
YouTubing and
Yeah.
stuff like that. I mean,
And but what's weird just on like a generational level, it's like the internet and just being on the phone every day. It's like they're not wrong in a way to
hmm,
like to view you want to be a YouTuber or like Vine, TikTok, and all that stuff. Like they're not wrong with wanting to be an influencer,
yeah,
um, or to see it as like a viable thing to do. Because even as we've grown up, it went from something that was just like, if you're not Will Smith, why try? Or like
exactly.
if you're not pounding the pavement, if you're not moving to LA or New York City, why act, right?
Hmm.
It went from that to just like, I mean, you could be at home with a camera and a computer, a microphone, and start a podcast, start a successful streaming or YouTube career. It's like
Right.
it's
Become a successful singer. You know,
right, and
that's
you
how
can do
exactly
that.
how the lead singer of Journey got found.
Yeah,
The when they were looking for new lead singers, the band members were all going through random YouTube videos and found
yeah.
Arnel Pinata or Pinat. I'm
Mhm.
gonna mess up his Pineda. Sorry,
Right.
I'm gonna mess up his name. But I mean,
Yeah.
that's how they found the new lead singer for Journey,
Right.
was just on
I mean,
YouTube.
we had American Idol growing up. That was like
Yeah,
the like oh, that was when I probably would say like the more turning point to just like you could not be within these centers of media and still like become famous, but with the
and
right
make a
person
difference.
finding
Yeah.
you. Right. With like the Jonas Brothers, right? I think that's how they got their start. And then years later, fine, TikTok, YouTube, with its explosion and everything. Like it's it is, you want to tell, anyone to not put your eggs in one basket, right? And that's been true like for all of life. We
Yeah.
always look up to the popular and famous people throughout history, whether it was, in the time of smartphones or just, hearing just listening history books, right?
Hmm.
Or like the town crier and all that stuff. But yeah, I mean, we are in a world where you could be an influencer like that with just like what you do on your phone or just like your opinions and kind of the timing of a really spicy opinion, and that could just kind of
Right.
catapult. It's scary. It's scary and hopeful in a way, but
Yeah.
horrifying. Yeah.
Yeah. It can be. I mean, it's sort of, you bring up a thing that I always think about, where it's you say the wrong thing on social media and you
Yeah.
just get ousted. And
Yeah.
it's not like anyone, obviously there are definitely shitheads that deserve that stuff, right? You know,
Absolutely.
for posting just inane stupid shit. But then it's
Hmm.
so, take Magic Twitter for instance, right? What if,
Yes.
you
Oh my
know
god.
you know the whole discourse with all Twitter, just especially EDH, casual versus competitive, and whatever the
Yeah.
hell else. Like, I personally don't give a shit, because
Hmm.
I'm just gonna play EDH the way I want to play it. And
Hmm.
I strongly agree with people talking with the other pod members and like, okay, what kind of game do we want to have here? You
Right.
know,
Right.
and as an EDH player myself, I like to have a variety of power levels, right?
Hmm.
From
Hmm.
pre-con to super strong,
Right.
you know. But
Right.
I mean, yeah, just always get that one thing where if I post something today on Twitter, is this going to be the catalyst for something, whatever?
Good or bad. Yeah,
Yeah.
honestly. Yeah, it's tough. It's really tough, and especially like for like kind of how Commander has changed. I mean, I when I got into Magic, or mainly we'll start with like I got into Commander. That was around like RTR time, and
Hmm.
I remember just like the it being in a card shop and like just the different mini metas and play groups there. And luckily, I was at the card shop where I felt it was rather diverse, so I did see kind of every type of deck,
Hmm.
whether it's stacks, control, aggro, whatever blue green was doing at the time. Um,
Which at the time probably wasn't much.
it was one of our like the main person in our play group who played blue green. It was Zagana, Prime Speaker Zagana.
Oh yeah, that can get pretty nasty.
I mean, it was a big
Yeah.
creature, just drew a bunch of cards, had a bunch of everything. It was great.
Lab man.
Blue green. Yeah. Um, and just kind of like how the certain things that shape the meta, then like certain amount of board wipe, certain amount of
Hmm.
single target removal, different things to different cards to deal with different threats. And it felt a lot more casual in comparison to nowadays, where as I've played more games over spell table, I've realized it's like wow, a lot of the decks I used to dominate just in my play group. I didn't feel it was super casual, but it feels super casual in comparison to what I'm playing
Right.
now. And I've wanted to just improve on all of my decks. Like I've wanted to up the power scaling on every deck that I have. I want to tighten down the themes and everything. I still don't want to. I don't want every deck to be a stacks ramp into
yeah.
Thassa's Oracle. Like I don't want all of them to be that. Arguably, I don't want any of them to be that, except for maybe one. But um, I've definitely I've gotten to look at a lot more of commander content nowadays to try to figure out like how can I fine tune this? Like, can I keep this one special card I really want, while still making sure I have a plan to win by at least turn 10? Where before that just wasn't a thing. Before I was just like, this card is sweet, it fits the lore, let's go for it.
See,
And it really wins out.
that's interesting to hear that, because I've sort of have gone backwards with that thinking. It's like I used to be like that, where I wanted to have all my decks, be 100% optimized, the best way to win. But now I've gotten to a point, especially the past year with playing on Spell Table and playing with a variety of people. I still want to make sure my best decks are the best, but then I've also been building decks that, have themes or just a general idea that I don't care about making it good. You know, like I'd still like it to win, but I guess making it optimize is the better word. I feel like making every single deck optimized, to me, kind of bores me. Because then it feels like you're just putting the same cards in every single deck, but a different commander.
Yeah, that is true. That is something to worry about. I tend to just to dive in, I guess, to EDH. Like the way I build decks, I tend to focus it around the commander. My goal is to make a deck that fits that commander, not simply just like a deck that happens to be these colors and the commander is there. So like my first deck was Teysa, Envoy of Ghosts. The same, technically Mari's first commander as well.
Yeah.
The 7-mana 4/4 Teysa with proc creature, and if a creature deals combat damage to you, destroy that creature and I get a spirit. It's like that was my first deck, mainly because like I love the art and I love the character. I'm definitely a Vorthos at heart, so I love the deck and the character. It was around the time of RTR, so that was great. And then like over the years, like it went from just like hit me, I want to kill your creatures, to like, well, let's see, if they do hit me and they lose their creature, they probably hit me because I was winning and they needed to make that sacrifice. Let me take their creature from the graveyard. So I've turned it into like a reanimator deck.
Yeah.
Because
that's
I feel
cool.
that fits the Teysa Orzhov theme. You died against me, and then now I take your spirit, right? Which certainly means I can't play it on Spell Table, because that's a bit more bit more work than it's worth. But like just over time, I've changed that, and I've learned to fine tune that. So like I have a good amount of mana rocks and lands and everything, in order to get to that goal more consistently. Because before it was just like 36 lands, because I wanted to put as many cards that were spicy and lore filled in there. But now I've tried to make sure that I have like 38 and no less than 38 lands in every one of my decks, barring like extreme, super low curve or super high or something. And then also, it's more than just putting lands in the deck. You also have to put mana rocks and other accelerations. So it's like I've learned to make it a goal to have my 7-mana commander come out by like turn 5 instead of waiting till turn 7, because it's just going to be too late by then.
Does it feel like Commander as a format has become faster over the years?
100%. And certainly it's like play group wise. Obviously, if you started in a high level play group, then CEDH was always CEDH for you, fast or slow, probably. But yeah, like I know that I don't have, or I see that I have less of the opportunity to waste time getting Teysa on turn 7, right? It's like Teysa on turn 7 is not a position where I'm probably going to win. It has to be sooner to start enacting these goals. I have to make sure that I can interrupt other players from going off. So it's like I have to have more enchantment and artifact destruction than I thought I would have to have previously. And I think it's, for me at least, it's faster because I can't keep putting 6-mana cards that say Obsidian in there simply because they say Obsidian or Orzhov, right? I have to put in Swords of Plowshares I have to, even though, when I was younger, I was like, oh, giving my opponent's life, that's the worst thing I want to do.
Right.
But, as I grow as a Magic player, I'm like, well, I need to put this in because I need to get rid of creatures for 1 mana. And also life doesn't mean, too much, especially if I have a strategy that's going to circumvent that. So I think it's just like you grow as a Magic player with the more people you go against as well. And the meta shifts at the same time to make you to make Magic faster, but also more optimized, as we said.
Now, do you think that's good for the Commander format to get now as popular as Commander has become? Right, it's basically become one of the most popular formats now, and with WotC spending, I mean, basically now instead of intro decks and Planeswalker decks for every set, they now have 2 Commander decks, right? And with all this focus on the format, do you feel Commander has lost some of its luster from the early days, where it's not so much, playing these janky $1 rare cards now. Now it has to be optimized, or else your Commander deck's just going to do nothing.
I would say no. I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's great. When I worked at a card store, I heavily specialized in Commander. People would come in and gawk at the prices and go like, oh, I don't want to spend like this much on a rare, or they would preface everything. It's just like, listen, you snake oil salesman, I know you just want to take my money, but I just need like stuff for a Commander deck. And I'm just like, whoa, calm down. We have binders here of dollar rares. What is your Commander? What does it do? What do you want it to do? How do you see it functioning? Cool. Here is a $1 rare. Yeah, it costs 7 mana. But, like, it does what you want it to do. You're in a casual play group. Go ahead and knock yourself out. And then, like, that person would return and become a regular. And slowly there would be a little bit of an arms race, more or less.
Yeah.
But, like, they wouldn't immediately turn around and go, like, okay, I need that, $15 Elder Gargadon now. It's like I can keep on going through this rare binder, this thing of dollar rares. I feel as though you can still do that in Commander. It just depends on your play group. I think the Commander play group structure is one of the best and worst things about it. I have a lot of cards, and I have the desire to not want to lose as badly. I don't have to win every game, but I do want to not lose as badly. So I'm
you want to do that cool thing, right?
Exactly, right. At least one cool thing per game. So I'm okay with like kind of stripping out some of the dollar rares to put in a couple of the more expensive things. Because I have them already, so it's not like too much skin off of my back. But like, yeah, you don't need, especially as long as the Commander decks that they make keep on adding like things like Arcane Signet and Soul Ring and Mana Rocks and other things like that. As long as those Commander decks keep on coming and allowing people to make low power decks that they only have to spend, as there are endless YouTube videos on it, $50, $20, $100, $200 like upgrades on, and they'll have a perfectly fine, reasonable deck that they can pop off every now and then with. I think as long as those exist, and there's also room for more content creators too. As long as those exist, I think Commander will be perfectly fine, in all honesty. Strixhaven's a really good example, I think, of a set that you can add a lot of cards to Commander that don't fit every Commander deck, but they fit specific ones. And I think as long as Wizards monitors how much they add to the format, I think they'll be fine. I think Commander will only keep on growing to be the best way to play Magic.
Yeah, and I think it really is, because it's now starting to slowly become like the D&D of Magic, right? Where you get together with a group of friends and just sit down and have a good time, and it's just like D&D, right? It's super casual, cool, you win, okay, it doesn't matter, just shuffle up and play again. Yeah,
absolutely.
That's what I love with it.
That's actually a really good term, the D&D of Magic, which is coming full circle, I guess.
I know, right? I'm so excited. You can't see it. Which camera am I using? But I've got a whole shelf of D&D and Pathfinder,
I see that. And Magic right above it. I saw that. But that's gonna be really awesome. Because the next thing we have is Modern
Horizons 2.
Yeah,
which I've got a bitter taste of Modern Horizons, because the last time it was out, I feel like it ruined Modern for me personally.
Really?
Like War of the Spark and Modern Horizons just ruined Modern for me because it started to become a format where it started to become a rotating format with every new set coming out. At least that's how I
Yeah.
felt.
Okay, that's fair. That's been especially with like Teferi. I know that obviously that changed the game a lot. And
Oh
and
god,
Spark.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like my favorite deck that I used to play in Modern, and it wasn't the best, but it could win some Modern FNMs every once in a while, was
Mhm.
Grixis Delver, right?
Yeah.
That this is
Yep. I
before
remember that.
Grixis Shadow and all that, and used to
Right.
love it. And even when Grixis Shadow was a thing, I could still win with Grixis Delver,
Hmm.
and then just like when War of the Spark and Modern Horizons came out, I'm just like shit. It's so outclassed now. Snapcaster Mage is like crap
Right.
in the
Yeah.
format, and it's
The
sad.
Snapcaster Mage becomes not a good premium card is a huge shift.
Right? Like when Tarmogoyf and Snapcaster are no longer like the top premium creatures in the
Hmm.
format, and they have been for how long? That's when
A
it's like
very long time.
that's when like I know things have to change, right? But it's also a little
Hmm.
bit sad, where it's
Yeah.
just like Tarmogoyf no longer a $200 card. It's now what
Yeah.
20-30 bucks or something.
Jeez, that low nowadays. Wow. I
Yeah,
mean, luckily that they have reprinted it a lot,
5
which is
million times
good.
now. Yeah,
Right, which is good, and I hope that I would hope that that had more of an effect on the price than necessarily like its stance in the meta. But yeah, I don't. Every now and then I'll look at like what Modern looks like. I stopped playing Modern when they banned Faithless Looting, because I have
oh,
three
that's
Modern decks.
right. I forgot about
I
that.
have I have Merfolk. Shout out to Nikachu. I have Merfolk, Dredge, and is it Phoenix? Is it because I love is it as a color combo, and there is not enough times where is it is good in a meta, and the fact that for once finally there was a really decent is it deck
I
in
forgot
Modern
about
made
that.
me
Yeah.
so happy. Yeah, and like it had some delve in there and some dredge, and I was like, oh, this is awesome. And Modern Horizons for me was like wonderful because it added like three cards that were just like so good. I was so very happy to play that. And then but then they banned Faithless Looting, and that really affected. It didn't destroy Dredge. It destroyed Phoenix. And it didn't destroy Dredge, but it did change it in such a way where I was just like, "Ah, man, I don't really I just don't really want to kind of like see what Dredge has to turn into now. And is it Phoenix is gone, and that's where like my
Yeah.
pride and joy is coming from. I'll keep I still have the decks, and I still have Merfolk, but I just stopped playing Modern and just kind of did Commander only from then on.
It's pretty much what I did. I sold my standard and modern collection because the last standard, paper standard I even played in was Ravnica Allegiance. And
Yep.
I was so freaking tired of Nexus of Fate and Wilderness Reclamation at FNM. I'm
Yep.
just like, nope, I'm done.
Yes. I did not enjoy
Like, it's just such a
that arena.
slow win con, man. Just.
Right. Yeah, it
And,
doesn't
and
even just like happen quickly.
and this is coming from the guy who went to blue white control in modern. Just
Right. I
God.
mean, at least that has like a much quicker theme, I feel. I'm okay with decks that put you in a headlock that like that you can't beat, right?
Yeah.
Because like that's the point of the deck. You are in a headlock, you've lost. That's fine. Same with like commander. It's like I'm okay with land destruction if you're winning that turn.
Yeah.
Right. If you play Armageddon on turn 5 and you didn't have any plan, I'm very displeased. But it's like that's just like a control win con. But if you but yeah, the Nexus of Fate, it's like there was always a chance that they just didn't top deck it, and so you just punch them. But then then they fog you, and it's like, okay, next turn. Oh, they still didn't draw it.
Another fog.
Swing. Oh, another fog. Okay. Oh, they still didn't draw it.
Cool.
Okay. I got to swing out, kill you. All right. Like, I mean, cool. I had to be on the edge of my seat for the last 5 turns. And then I still just kind of punch you in the face and you die anyway. And like, it doesn't even really feel that great. You lost more in time than you won in your game of Magic because of cards like Nexus of Fate and Wilderness Reclamation. and fogs and all that stuff.
Yeah, I kind of miss the simple days of Siege Rhino.
Oh my gosh. Okay, let's not start on how objectively perfect Khan's block was. Okay, I think it is the best block Wizards has ever made. It was
I drafted the hell out of
yes,
cons. Like I
yes,
drafted it.
yes.
I mean, I played a shit ton of standard in cons too, but I think I drafted way more, and it was my
Yep.
favorite draft
Mm-hmm.
format for a long time. Like cons and I want to say
Con
Ravnica and shit. What's
Ravnica.
the second Ravnica? Return to Ravnica.
Gate Crash.
Gate Crash. Yeah, Return to
Yeah.
Ravnica. Gate Crash was one of my other favorites too.
Yeah. We forget about Dragon's Maze, as we should.
The only good Dragon's Maze draft I had when that was there was when I opened up Pack One Pick One Voice of Resurgence.
Yes,
That
Voice
was
Resurgence. Yep.
the,
Yeah.
I went 4-0 that night. Just
Yes. I think the only time I went like 4-0 or 4-0 in command or the FNM was like when Mono Blue Devotion was a thing.
oh
was-
god.
Yeah, that was my jam. Merfolk. I mean, that's where my
the
Mono Blue.
shit. What's his name?
Master of Waves. Yeah.
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 The blue mythic from Theros.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
God, that was good. That was good.
Dead Mono Black Devotion is also there.
I thought Triple Theros was a good draft format. Like that was good.
Yeah, Theros, Journey, Born.
And Born.
Theros, Born, Journey.
Yeah. Born of the Gods. No. I didn't enjoy the
No.
draft format that much. Journey wasn't too bad,
Mhm.
but
that was when that was the set where like I understood the fatigue of the 3-set structure.
Yeah.
Like I loved RTR and everything about it. Even Dragon's Maze because it just kind of capped off like the story and everything.
yeah.
But yeah, like I would just forget that Born existed a lot, or even Journey, just a lot of the time. I cared about the gods that they introduced because
Mhm.
those were sweet, and then that was like kind of it. So yeah, I definitely understood that fatigue there. So when they did switch over to the 2-set structure, I was like, I get it. It definitely sometimes goes a bit too long. But it's like, hey, listen, Khan's block was the greatest. It was
Dude,
it was the best block they ever made.
Your favorite Wingmate Rock, Siege
Yes.
Rhino.
The perfect Abzan curve. Turn 1, Warden of the First Tree. Turn 2,
Yes.
Fleece Mane Lion. Turn
Oh,
3,
God, Fleece Mane,
Anderson, the
yes.
foremost. Turn
Oh.
4, Siege Rhino. Turn 5, Wingmate Rocked rated.
Yeah.
Perfect.
In the second main phase. Yep.
Perfect.
Oh,
and
God.
then repeat with Siege Rhino, Siege Rhino, Siege Rhino.
I still remember one of my buddies came up with what was it, Abzan Blink splashing red for Perforos, where he would get Siege Rhino in, have Perforos out, get
Yeah,
Siege Rhino in,
yeah.
then Blink Siege
5
Rhino
damage.
back out.
Oh my gosh.
It was the
That's a
dumbest
lot.
thing ever. And he won FNM that week too.
Yeah. There you go. You come out with a jank like that and you just rock with it. That's awesome. And remember Oops All Siege Rhino? It was just like Siege Rhino, 4 Siege Rhinos, 4 clever impersonators.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. Yeah. And then my favorite deck archetype of all time was Mono Blue 5-color dragons. It was only good for a week, but it was the greatest week ever. It was Mono Blue. Like
I do not remember that.
It was Mono Blue control, but you have the 4 of the Rainbow Land for dragons.
Yeah.
And you just played like the Dragon Lords or like kind of just whatever dragon you needed at the time. But yep, it was Mono Blue 5-color dragons because you had access to the Iceborne Regent or Ice something.
Yeah.
Cross Regent. And then
Icefall Regent, I think it was.
Icefall, yes, Icefall Regent.
Thunderbreak. Oh, he was my favorite.
Yes.
Freaking
Yep, Mono Blue 5-color dragons. It was the greatest deck for a week, and it was the greatest week ever.
Dude, I still remember. I used to play a blue-black dragon control because I couldn't afford Ojutai at the time because Ojutai was ridiculously expensive.
Ojutai was real good.
And so I just did blue-black dragon control with Silumgar.
Slimy Girl. Yes.
got the Icefall region and all that. And so, God, I remember loving that deck.
Slumdog
So much
Millionaire
fun.
Cylinder.
Dude, so I got to tell another F&M story, and I think I've told this before in the podcast. So it was Dragons of Tarkir Standard. I wanted to make a jank deck for F&M that week, and so I built a assault formation walls essentially.
Yes.
And
Yes.
oh, dude, I was like winning. I was 2-0. I get to the third round, and my opponent, I beat him in the first match. Second match, he sideboards in, and I have all these walls ready to attack. And then, guess what fucking card he plays that no one played at all?
Was it? It's not a drag.
It was a dragon.
Breaker dragon.
Siege dragon.
Oh my god!
And he wasn't even playing a dragon deck. He was
No way.
He drops a siege dragon. I'm just like, are you fucking kidding?
No way.
Like, I wasn't mad or anything. I was just laughing my ass off. Like,
No
he was
way.
playing some gruel something, right? I can't remember exactly, but it was just the fact that he had Siege Dragon sideboarded in was just, oh my god. And
Oh my
I was the only one playing Assault Formation in the store
Yeah, of
that
course.
week.
Of course you were. Who else would? Oh my gosh, Siege Dragon. That's someone who, okay, they either heard about you and they slipped that in on their sideboard, or like that is like this is my pile. Like this is just like, oh, I need a sideboard. Here's some like red and green that I have.
Yeah.
And like let's go for it. And he happened to accidentally slip a Siege Dragon in there.
I'm hoping
No way.
it wasn't shady, because the guy was pretty cool. Like, he didn't seem like, shady or anything, but dude, it was like the funniest play I had
That's
that
too
whole
perfect.
night. Just like the one thing to completely decimate my deck, and you had
Yep.
it.
Yes, absolutely. That's so
It was
sad.
great. Oh man. But oh man, I miss those standard days, man. Just
Yeah.
I think that's what I miss the most about going to an LGS, like, because we had a really good LGS not too far from me. It was a really good set of people there, and it was a kind of place where you could just hang out, and I could bring my wife and kids there and just have no
Yeah.
issues, and all that, and I just feel like I can't find that anymore. Like, that LGS closed because it wasn't profitable and all that. I mean,
Right.
what LGS is profitable? I mean,
Yeah.
unless you just get lucky, and it's like,
Buffalo, actually, like Buffalo, New York has no less than 6 LGSs. It's wild. It's
good.
wild. It really is. And,
I mean,
like,
are
they're
they
not-
close together, or like, I don't know how big Buffalo is. I've never been up there.
Everywhere in Buffalo is like 20 minutes from each other, right?
Okay.
It's like if you had 20 minutes to drive somewhere, you could pretty much drive to anywhere in the cities. So
That's not bad.
yeah. And I mean, it's a really vibrant like Magic community here. So I mean, every store had enough people to fire off an F&M, and like their weekly events and everything. The store I worked at was one of the bigger ones in the area, and
Nice.
we were always popping off events. And F&M, I had to judge the F&Ms, so I didn't for years. I wasn't able to like really partake in the F&M, but just the community that forms from having like modern and standard, and then eventually like brawl.
Oh, God.
Brawl
that didn't
FNMs.
even exist. We had more of a tiny
Yeah.
leaders group than Brawl.
Oh, tiny leaders. Now that's a whole nother story. I never
built a deck.
Never believed in it. Yep, I never once did I.
But we had a small group of people who played it and loved it, and I remember
That's what matters.
they tried to rope me into it. I'm like, nah, I'm good.
Nah.
I'm good.
Nah.
I'm good.
I was more of a fan of a minuscule master.
Minuscule, what's that?
So just like because all the arguments for tiny leaders being a thing was just like, its commander's too big and it's like too powerful, blah blah blah, blah, or not powerful, whatever it was. So someone was just like, well, let's just double down on that. Let's make minuscule masters, and it was like 25 cards, 10 life, and like commander's even smaller, and that just the idea of like, let's just take that argument even further. And that was I had at least one minuscule masters deck, and that was way more fun than
Games
Tiny Leaders
were
was.
games pretty quick.
Yes, very much so. Very cheesy. You know, when you only have 25 cards, it's all about just like an
Comboing.
immediate combo, right?
Yeah,
Which is
yeah.
arguably Tiny Leaders as well, but yeah, no, Commander is pure and true, and I love it. I'll stand by it.
Yeah, they just need to bring Commander to Arena at some point. I mean,
Uh, I I disagree personally.
it needs to
I
have. I mean,
Nah, you can if you mean multiplayer brawl, I could see that. Commander though, like that's not possible, and I don't think it should ever.
well, why do you think? Why
I
do you say it's not possible? Just it's not possible with Wizards' current resources. I think with the way they
I
program things.
Well, yeah. So like, and when I was streaming Arena, I always like disagreed with the idea of like Commander being in Arena. Because Commander is a format where every card in Magic's history, more or less,
Hmm.
is available. In which case, that is a system that is too big for what or for anything Arena has ever shown that it could be.
I
Right
can see that.
now,
Yeah.
10 years from now, if Arena is bigger or whatever, then like fine. But as Arena has been and has ever shown itself to be, it is having every Magic card in existence as an option, right, is too much. Like you have to have every common as an opportunity to be in Commander because you have to allow for all of that, right?
Yeah, and they don't even have that in right with a lot of the remaster sets they do right now.
Exactly, right. Exactly. The remaster sets take out certain things for historic and everything like that. Like that's a lot already in of itself. Um how lame would it be if you have a commander that's your pride and joy? Listen, if I Asperia, the Supreme Judge, is one of my favorite commanders.
Hmm.
If she doesn't have an animation where she drops from the sky and perches on top of New Prov with her outstretched wings and like law magic all over the screen, if she doesn't have that, I just don't want Commander to be in Arena because like all of these legendary creatures, probably should most of them on Arena have some sort of special effect. And I
Yeah.
want my super cool commander that I love and connect with to have that same thing. If they just full dumped all of Magic in there, the majority of the game wouldn't have any special
Yeah.
fanfare to it,
I see
right?
what you mean. Yeah.
They would have to add all of that. And if you want it to be like a good full on commander experience, then yeah, I mean I want those flashy animations for my special commanders and like all these card interactions and everything.
I can get with that. I can get with that. I'd say
Yeah.
that then maybe multiplayer brawl at first, but make it
Yes.
multiplayer historic brawl.
Sure.
Stop this
Which
standard brawl.
do they not have historic brawl?
Not permanently. They sometimes bring the
Uh
event, but it's not permanent.
yeah, of course.
That
Yeah, yes.
they
I first and foremost make that permanent, then try the multiplayer idea on standard or historic brawl, and then
oh
from
dude.
there you can piecemeal what cards you want to allow in the format. Right,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
that's fine by me. That's fine by me. If they can put the precons into Arena, that would be cool
Oh yeah, that'd
because
be
it
awesome.
at that point it becomes like block constructed commander, which is brawl basically, and that's awesome. I'm okay with that, and all of those commanders are definitely multiplayer based. So if they can, the day that they're able to put in the Strixhaven commanders, is the day that that multiplayer brawl will be there, and that's 100% like far more likely in my opinion. But to
And
believe that, good.
what I was gonna say, and if they get multiplayer working, could that mean we get two-headed giant? Like, how awesome would it be for like you and a buddy to be able to just get a sealed pool, play two-headed giant on Arena, like, and you can't be
Yeah.
in person together. Like, that'd be so much
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, that would be great. And then Battle Bond, that means that Battle Bond 2 will
Yes.
be released on Arena, right? Like that's where Arena could go.
Hmm.
Um, if they want to do that. But obviously like the standard structure does make it a lot easier for them as a company to
Yeah.
deal with. And I completely understand them wanting to take baby steps in some regards with like what they add, what giant game-changing features they add to the game, and Commander would be the biggest possible undertaking that I think they could ever add. Legacy
Yeah.
would have a less of an undertaking, more or less, even though it's like the same
Well, it's same kind of
amount
card
of
pool.
cards.
Yeah.
Right,
Well,
same card pool, but like
because you'd have to,
planning.
yeah, because you'd have to program in like every single mechanic that's
Right.
currently not in there, and
Right.
and I just don't think they have the resources to do that.
I mean,
right?
they don't. They do not.
I mean, they barely have the resources. Like, we were supposed to get Pioneer Masters last year. Remember that? In Arena.
Were we?
Yeah,
Were we?
yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And it never
Did we
happened.
never.
No, because
That's fine.
Pioneer was.
I think Historic is its own as its own ecosystem on Arena. I think it's fine personally, because it just allows people who are playing Arena to keep playing the things that they paid for on Arena. I'm perfectly fine with that. I stopped playing non-Commander and Modern Magic like by the time Pioneer came out, so I don't have too much of a leg in that race. But my personal stance is I think Historic is perfectly fine for Arena, because it allows people who are investing in Arena to keep on playing those cards. And it makes a new meta, which is great. So when I did play Magic, I could go like, wow, Standard is kicking my ass, and there is not a single fun deck in there because it's all blue-green Uro or Oko. So I'm going to go over to Historic, where at least maybe I can play, like, I can try Merfolk. It won't work, but I can try it.
hey, I've got some of the jankiest stuff on Historic. Like, I've got a Lich's Mastery Infinite Turns deck that I love playing. It's so bad.
Oh my gosh. That sounds pretty heckin' sweet, actually.
It's so terrible, but if I can pull it off, it's hilarious.
See, Arclight Phoenix is on Historic. Awesome. I'm going back to Magic. I'm going back
to especially now that they have Faithless Looting.
Yes.
And the Strixhaven.
Okay. So Faithless Looting actually was added?
Yeah.
Okay, because I know not all of the Mystic
it was like Demonic Tutor, I want to say Swords to Plowshare. There was like a few of the really powerful ones weren't added, but yeah, Faithless Looting was in there, Brainstorm. Counterspell I don't think was allowed.
Yeah, no, keep that away. Keep that away. That's a bit too much.
Is it though?
Listen, I'm a blue player at heart. Green is my least favorite color. Blue is, I mean, it's my favorite at the end of the day. I'm
a blue mage
down
through and
for
through.
Counterspell to not be in the format for in any in any format that's supposed to be even slightly kind of maybe casual.
I can see that.
Yeah.
If I had to think about like my favorite colors, it's like blue, is definitely my favorite.
Typical blue answer. Listen.
But my first commander deck was Simic Krufix, and I do have a thing for Simic.
See, that doesn't count. Simic is its own sixth color. Okay, it is its own archetype.
Now it is.
Now it is.
Yeah, because I'd have to say Ravnica Allegiance really pushed the power of Simic, because it was good before, but never like that.
I hate it so much. When I sit down on the Commander pod and I see blue green X or just blue green and it's not Merfolk, I am immediately on edge. I am like, that player right there is gonna play every land, draw every card, and just pop off. And I am immediately defensive against that player.
That's actually what happened with us on Mari's stream, where when I played Krufix, I managed to get like a turn 5 Omniscience out or something, or turn 6. Like I got a super early Omniscience out, and just popped off like crazy.
I believe it. It's a strong it's been pretty pushed, I'd say, in the past couple years. Yeah, very very pushed to degrees I've never really seen a color combination.
Growth Spiral, like, Hydroid Krasis, Uro, Oko, Castle Vantress.
Castle Vantress mixed with Wilderness Reclamation, right?
Okay,
like you put all that together, and it's just like, and then I mean, the what was the Simic ETB counter a spell, but I've also made a 3/2. It's like what do you want from me? Like how?
Oh,
how am I supposed to
Frilled
have fun here?
Mystic. Frilled Mystic, yeah.
Frilled Mystic. It's just like, wow, that was not fun. That was not a fun time for me. So, but I blame green. I blame the green aspect of it
Dude,
entirely.
green has gotten so good.
Yes.
Do you remember during what was it M21 or M20 where they first showed Baneslayer Angel and everyone was like, "Oh my god, they reprinted it. It's so good."
No way.
And,
I'm a 5/5 with First Strike and Lifelink. What are we gonna do?
and then they show the green mythic Elder Gargaroth, and it's just like,
wait a minute.
whoa.
This is better in every way.
Wow, Baneslayer Angel looks like a piece of shit compared to
It's
this.
absolute garbage. It can't even trade. And then like, you want to talk about how like green has been so pushed, like the Cavaliers. All right, like the cycle of Cavaliers. I thought it was a pretty cool cycle.
Oh, I loved it
in general. I loved the red one and how it made a Jeskai deck, like a very different type of Jeskai deck playable. It was great. But it's like you look at all the Cavaliers, it's like the black one, we kind of all hated because you had to sacrifice a creature just to kill something. Then you bring a 3-drop back, kind of a snooze fest. The white one, you gave your opponent 3 6s or something. Not really.
Yeah, not that great.
Anyone wanted to do, right? The red one, that was a 5/6 and it buffed your
And
board.
it could be a finisher.
Haste. That was very decent, okay? But that one, but the stats on that one is 5/6. Now, in the blue one was a 5/5 flyer, lets you brainstorm. Cool, right? But if it dies, you have to shuffle everything away. But then you get the green one, which is 5/6 reach. ETB, put cards into your graveyard, get a land. And so it's just like, all right, like no value lost there. If anything, only gained. And then when it dies, you put a card in your graveyard to the top of your deck. Like,
it's so good.
What the hell is that? Like, it beat every other Cavalier. It completely destroyed the blue one. Like, just utterly. The blue one had nothing against it because the green one had reach. It didn't trade with it. And when it dies, you have to shuffle all your cards away. So like the blue one, pointless, right?
Yeah.
The red one, it has 5 toughness, so it just trades. At least that one trades. Okay. The white one, once again, we don't really care about the white.
We don't talk about that. We don't talk about those.
Right. But even then, you still kill the Cavalier. So then you just put something in the graveyard that was a threat back on top, aka what was it? Tamio.
Yeah.
So then I was like, oh my gosh, like that was what showed me. It's just like, wow, the green is a whole different beast from what it used to be, and Magic, for whatever reason, really wants to push it. Not just green blue, but like the green aspect,
just green, yeah.
Push the most, yeah.
Oh yeah, like a good example is look at Ugin being reprinted, right?
Yeah.
So you remember when Ugin was first in standard? If you managed to drop Ugin, holy shit.
Yes.
That was really
for it.
Yeah, you worked to get Ugin out, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
You look at what came out at M21. You had Ugin, you had Azusa, you had Cultivate. You had freaking
you still had Growth Spiral.
Growth Spiral still. Kuro and all that. And then the next set had Omnath. So it's like, you could get like turn 3, turn 4 Ugin very easily.
Great. Just what I wanted. And even when you countered Ugin, they still had a whole board state. Like they still had a whole ass plan. And they'll just Tamio the Ugin back to the top of their deck and play it again. You have lands that are now creatures and tap for double. So that's cool. So they'll just get it again. Those lands don't get wiped by Ugin. So your opponent lost nothing. Lost nothing. It's Ugin
this like I was glad to see Ugin reprinted because it was getting up in price.
Yeah, absolutely.
But what it did to like standard and even historic has just been
less than ideal.
Yeah, because I was thinking, it can't be that bad, and then you see Azusa reprinted. You're like, shit. Oh shit, Cultivate's back now. Oh shit.
Growth Spiral's still there.
Growth Spiral's still there. Oh no, there's that other 3-drop green creature from Theros. The nymph one. Allows you to play 2 lands too.
Yeah, that
Dryad of the Arbor.
Dryad of the Illusion Grove, yeah.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah. Yup.
God, just
And like, remember when when he originally came out, right? Let's think about like standard now, or at least like when Ugin came out again, versus like when he was first out during
Fate
uh
Reforged.
Fate Reforged. Which, let's remember, that's when they decided to switch over to the 2-set standard structure. So Fate Reforged had like a smaller lifespan than like every other set before Dragons started getting
Yeah,
printed.
because that's right. Because Dragons of Tarkir was
Mhm.
Cons was the last 3-set block, wasn't it?
It was like technically, yes, it is like officially definitely the last 3-set block, but they separated it midway through.
The draft environment.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. It was Cons Fate and then Fate Dragons.
yeah, because you never drafted Dragons with Cons.
Right. Yeah, you didn't put all three together because lore and everything. Which,
Yeah,
goddamn, I miss being. I love the lore. Confall, greatest Magic sword they ever made. Just saying. Anyway,
yeah.
like,
That and
but
Theros
that
were my favorites.
yes, but just like that weird like 4-week meta of like Fate Reforged. Like Fate Reforged had entire decks that were meta only then and then never again.
Yeah, is that
And
when Abzan Whip came around? Was that Fate Reforged or
no,
was that before?
that was before. That was before
Okay.
because you had Obsidian and it's everything else that was good in Abzan. But you had it was a teamer card because remember they had a monocolor card and then they had monocolor cards with team like different abilities from the different cons
Mm-hmm.
colors. Um, it was the red card with blue and green, like some ability, and it was like a 4-mana 4/2 that said every time someone dealt damage or whatever, you get to draw a card or whatever. And I remember that being like the coolest, most expensive card in the set. Teamer was rocking it. It was amazing. And then as soon as Dragons came out, you literally never saw that deck again. It was the like
Yeah.
weirdest flash in the pan I've ever seen. But it's okay because Dragons was also dope as hell
Oh yeah,
with all the
yeah.
commands and everything.
Dude, speaking of cons, you know what card I was so surprised never saw a lot of play, even though it was amazing
Give me a hint.
in limited. It's a teamer card from cons.
Oh, Savage Knuckleblade.
Yeah, like
Yeah, nailed it.
he was amazing in draft,
Yes,
right? But
yes.
he like I tried
Utter
to make
garbage
teamer
in
work.
standard.
I tried to make teamer work so much in
Yes.
standard, and it's like no, it just Abzan just
Nope.
outclassed it. Oh,
Other
Anafenza was the
Anna Banana Chan.
yeah, that's right. Anafenza was
Yep.
the turn 3 most of the time turn 3 play for Abzan
Oh,
too.
if it wasn't, it was either that or Hero's Downfall.
Yep.
Yep.
Here's Downfall and then when Dragons came out, it was shit that Raptor one. You morphed it, right?
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. Deathmiss Raptor, Den Protector combo.
Yeah.
Oh my
God. I
God.
fucking hated that, man.
Oh my God. Can we go back to cons? See,
Right?
every time I start talking about cons, I can say no bad about it. I love cons block. It is my second favorite block of just all time ever. And I think it was just the funnest. It was the most fun I've ever had in any standard environment, even if I like lost a lot. It was Deathmiss Raptor, Den Protector. Remember the Pro Tour game of 2 green-white manifest decks?
Oh my God.
Like
Holy
hours?
shit. I fucking remember that. Yeah, that was back when I used to watch so much Pro Magic. I'm sorry, Arena kind of killed Pro Magic for me. That could be a hot take or whatever, but before Arena, I don't know about you, but I would literally have like for me, like my weekend, if I wasn't doing anything, I would have on one screen, Channel Fireballs, GP, and then on the other screen, Star City Games on the other, and just going back and forth. And depending on what the format was, I'd pay attention more to one or the other.
Right.
And just
at the card shop, I had my laptop out, and any of their fellow employees would have their laptop, and one of them had whatever game was going on. I had to mute all my notifications, everything, just so we could always see either Star City coverage or Channel Fireball coverage and all that. Oh my
dude,
gosh.
I miss that, man. I'm sorry. As much as I like Arena and what it's done for the game and what it's done for bringing new people in, I don't care at all about the pro scene anymore. Like, if you ask me, like, try to name like anyone on the pro team or whatever the heck it's called now, the MPL or whatever, I wouldn't be able to name a single person.
Yes, I definitely I get that for sure. It's very different. It's a new way to enjoy Magic, and I strangely enough, it's like as much as I do enjoy Arena and everything that it adds to the game, all the flashy animations and everything, I just somehow felt I understood what I was looking at on the board when I was watching, just like a Star City game top-down camera for some reason. And the commentators, definitely helped. And
Yeah, like Cedric and
Cedric Phillips,
Patrick, Patrick Sullivan. They were like my favorites. To me, they were like the tastosis of Magic commentary.
Yeah, absolutely. Their coverage is great. I got to see them in person multiple times.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, from afar though, they were too glorious to approach. But
I know, right?
It's like it was a lot of I don't know. I had a lot more of a connection. I could understand everything that was happening. And I don't know why it's like harder on Arena. I can look at
when in actuality it's easier because now you can just hover your mouse over and look at all the cards and all that. It should be more appealing because when one of the things I've always talked about in this podcast is, especially with paper Magic gameplay, if you don't know like any of the cards or what's going on, like as a casual observer, you're gonna have no idea what's happening.
100%. 100%.
And I really thought Arena was going to fix that and make it more exciting to watch, but
I think I would imagine it did for the casuals. I think in that regard, for like what Arena did to make things flashier, it wasn't for more established players, right? Like I don't need to mouse over a card to kind of see what it does, or at least like when I was playing Standard a lot more, because I'm the type of person who every single day when it's spoiler season, I wake up, I roll over, look at my phone, what spoilers are out. Like I am all about that, right?
I used to be all like that too.
Yeah,
I'm not anymore. Like I was saying on Twitter the other day, I think to Kess from the Masters of Modern podcast, and that it's like I feel like I can't keep up with a lot of the new cards now. I still barely know what's in Zendikar Rising, and it's and it's not that I don't care. It's just I'm just not as involved with it like I used to be.
And that's just time. Like I mean, luckily that part about Magic hasn't changed, right? That is more your life and just the things that happen in it that prevent you from being able to look at it. But like spoiler season is still largely the same. It's about 1 or 2 weeks of just like, here's all the stuff. You go to mythicspoiler.com every day and you look at what's new, and you read up on it. So that's more of a life change sort of, I guess, like issue than Magic. As long as those sort of things like kind of stay the same, I think it'll be, even if you fall off the horse of looking at every spoiler, it's something that you can always come back to because the method of them doing it hasn't changed, or at least like our method of receiving it.
And maybe it also has to do with because I'm not playing Standard, Modern, or Legacy anymore too. Because
I am only looking at what does this card do in Commander nowadays.
I look at mainly Commander, or I look at my personal cubes that I have. Right. Like, is there any cool cube cards I can scope out? But and half the time when I look at cube cards, I don't even look at the flashy stuff. I look at more of the commons, uncommons.
Right. Exactly. Because that's what cube involves a lot more.
Because dude, just talking about like pushing power level, the pushed power level of commons and uncommons the past couple years, holy crap, it has been pushed.
A lot.
Oh yeah, well just look at Strixhaven and Kaldheim. They have 2 common blue cards that can exile creatures.
Yes, that's true.
At 2 mana and 3 mana. Yeah. Raven form and the
reshape or something.
Yeah.
That makes you a 4/4 though. The 2 mana
It makes your opponent a 4/4, but hell, think about you're playing Pauper, right? And they reanimate an Ulamog's Crusher on turn 2. They have an 8/8. It's like, oh look, I got an instant to exile it, give you a 4/4 instead. Now I don't have to worry about Annihilator 2 anymore.
I think that's that sounds perfectly fine to me. Personally, if your opponent found a way to reanimate something so devastating on turn 2, I mean, like if they swing, you lose, like by and large, right? I don't know the format enough, but like you probably lose because of the Annihilator 2. So now you have a weapon against just flat out losing. And they still have a 4/4, so you're still getting smacked in the face. That's not fun.
It's better than an Annihilator 2 8/8.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So like the game at least still keeps on going. That personally to me that sounds awesome. I think that's what kind of how Magic should change in some ways. I think that's great, but I don't play Pauper, so I don't know if that was too much of a shake.
I haven't played Pauper in years and years. I still have that Ulamog Reanimator deck, that Ulamog Crusher Reanimator deck. Get a play turn 2 Exhume, try to get Ulamog's Crusher in your graveyard by turn 1, turn 2 play Exhume, and boom.
So that's where the blue hatred comes from. I see. One too many Ulamogs turned into a 1/1 bird, and now you're just like
No,
I remember I like Reanimator decks. I had a Narset Reanimator deck once. For Modern.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah, Narset the Enlightened Master.
I love her as my commander.
I love her as a character. She's probably my favorite creature.
She might be like one of my favorite planeswalkers of all time, because like my Narset deck, which is actually right in here, I've got every single Narset planeswalker in it. I try to have like all the Narset art in that Narset deck. It's Monk Tribal. So
okay, gotcha.
It's not like the Degenerate Wheel or Infinite Turn type shit.
Right.
But
which is hard to explain to your opponents.
Oh my god, I have to explain it every single day. They see Narset, they're like, "Oh my gosh!" I'm like, "No, it's Monk Tribal."
Listen, you did it to yourself. I'm just saying, Narset real good, and it is on you to explain it to your opponents.
I know. Yeah. It's more of a thematic deck, but I will say the last time I played it on stream, or was it a private game, whichever. So the last time I played it, it's not meant to be a control deck, but it turned out to be a control deck that time.
Okay.
I got Narset Transcended out, and no one attacked it, and I got to ultimate it. And do you remember what her ultimate does?
It's just like is that your opponents can't untap too?
No.
Rebound, right? Infinite rebound?
No. The emblem is your opponents can't cast non-creature spells.
That's what it is. Yes.
And so I managed to get that by like turn, was it 6 or 7? And so no one could cast any non-creature spells. I'm like, okay.
All right. Well.
And so I got the Ikoria Narset out and managed to emblem her off. And so it was just, and I felt bad for the other players. I'm like, this is not meant to be a control deck. It's meant to be Monk Trap, but I just happen to have every single
sometimes the stars align.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Magic is wonderful like that.
Dude, you got me like just reminiscing on like cons stuff. Like I miss it. I want to go buy some cons packs and just draft it or play a sealed or something.
Let's just go back to cons.
Right?
Let's just go back.
So
we've had enough of the War of the Spark. We've had enough of Planeswalkers.
Let's
just go back to cons. Give me Sorin and Ugin and Narset and Sarkhan. Make Narset and Sarkhan a couple already. And let's just, and
I'd be more apt for
that's all I want.
Sarkhan and Ugin to be a couple. And
I mean,
Sarkhan's got that dragon fetish.
He really does. He has such a dragon fetish that he changed time. Which is really fucked up.
Oh man, that's hilarious.
Like, his dragon fetish was so strong that he transcended time and
just to be with his dragon boys.
Yeah, it drastically changed the outcome of an entire plane just because. Yeah.
So that's what he does with every single time he planeswalks somewhere. He's just gonna change time. Like, I'd rather have it be all dragons.
Okay, I'm in a new plane. How can I make dragons the lord of this plane?
Oh, dude, that's how he beats the Phyrexians. He goes to Mirrodin and
There was no time where dragons were the reigning were reign supreme on Mirrodin.
He'll make it happen somehow.
He'll make it happen. He's like, what do you mean there was no dragons on this plane? Karn's like, I made the plane. There were no dragons. That doesn't sound no. That doesn't sound right. Let me go back in the past. There has to be some dragon here somewhere.
He'll find
Skithrix is a dragon.
Yeah, exactly, right? Right?
It's like Sarkin, no. God dang it, Sarkin. Again,
oh god. Oops, all dragons.
Oops, all dragons. Mono infects one color.
Oh damn.
Mono Phyrexian.
All right, wizards, hire us. We got your next the next big storyline. Instead of Nicobolus being the big bad, it's Sarkin's the big bad because he keeps making all the planes dragonfied.
Exactly. You thought Elish Norn was the queen of Phyrexia. It's actually Sarkin's like, listen, I got a plan on how to stop the Phyrexians, alright? You're gonna love it. I'm gonna go back in time to Scars of Mirrodin and make Skithrix the Lord of Phyrexia. Huh? Thoughts? Eh?
And
like,
just gonna make Phyrexian oh my god, Phyrexian dragons. Oh.
One of them was already horrifying enough. We don't need more Skithrixes.
Yes. No, we do. And then isn't there like a sliver plane too?
Yeah, well, the slivers were originally from a plane, or at least like they are. Yeah, I mean they're more or less from a plane. Then the new plane that the new slivers are on. I think that's the Corset plane, whose name escapes me currently.
Talking about Dominaria, or
no, the Corset plane. Starts with the S. We go there like for every Corset. Shad something.
Oh god, I know what you're talking about. Oh shit, what is it called? But so Sarkin goes to that plane, makes slivers dragonfied, because I mean slivers are basically the Zerg, right? And,
yes, basically.
And so they incorporate Sarkin's dragons, and then we get sliver dragons. I mean, hell, they had that one test card, the Niv Mizzet Sliver, or whatever. You remember in the mystery boosters, because they had the test cards.
I don't like that.
It'd be amazing.
I don't want that at all.
I'd love it.
No way. Get that out of here. Listen. The less times we go back to Ravnica right now and like introducing other weird. Chandalar.
That's right. That's right.
I'm pretty sure that's where the new slivers are currently zerging out on.
Dude, slivers are my favorite. It's I even have a whole binder of every single sliver ever made. Dude, I can't believe. What? I used to, and then I took it apart because it just really got boring because it's, tutor out your best slivers and kind of win.
Yes, you're not wrong. Yeah, they're native to the plane of Wrath. That's what I thought. I thought it was Wrath.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But dude, I saw how expensive Sliver Queen is now. Holy shit. It's like almost a $500 card now.
Wow, that card just keeps on going up and up over time.
Oh, man. So I'm looking at your background of your screen.
Yes.
Or your monitor. So tell me why you like Ghost of Tsushima. Because, I mean, obviously, that's from Ghost of Tsushima right there.
Yes, indeed. Someone drew me as the ghost. It was, because the game's great.
Oh, I loved the game. It was so good.
Yes, very, very good.
Like, dude, it felt like playing a like one of those classic 50s, 60s samurai movies.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what it felt like.
Yes, it had a very good mix of RPG and hack and slash elements.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I gotta go back and play the DLC or like the multiplayer DLC. But,
okay, yeah. I never played any of that.
I think they specifically said there wouldn't be storyline DLC, so I think it's all multiplayer.
Okay,
but it does seem very fun.
Dude, that game was hard too. Like it was hard trying to master the sword combat too.
Yeah,
with all the stance changing and.
I love the concept of that stance changing. Like,
it was great.
Yeah, more games need to do that. I always like before Ghost of Tsushima came out, I was just like, how could you get an open world Naruto game? I'm like, well, you could stance change with different weapons and chakra, and then Ghost of Tsushima came out. I'm like, yeah, just do this, but make it Naruto, and it'll be great.
Oh my god, imagine that now.
Or even Star Wars.
Well,
Any adventure game, honestly, can just be made better by incorporating Ghost of Tsushima style play. I think any game that has melee weapons.
well, if you're going to make an open world Naruto game, would you want it to take place throughout the anime or just something in the world of Naruto?
There's more than enough Naruto games that's just literally copy the anime itself.
The Ultimate Ninja games and all that.
Right, which were good. By
Oh
the
yeah,
way.
I enjoy
Ninja games.
I only ever played the first one, which I enjoyed it.
They got better. They actually got better over time. Strangely enough, they were very, very good. And yes, by the end of it, you're able to like walk throughout Konoha and just retread the story and everything. I would want like its own. I mean, just make Ghost of Tsushima, right? But put like Naruto environment on it, and instead of just being Naruto, just be someone else.
Yeah.
And go around and do your thing. It would be awesome.
No Boruto though. I couldn't get in. I couldn't get into Boruto
at all. I've swore it off multiple times, and then with the most recent big thing that happened, I have 100% swore to never, ever, ever experience that show again. Because
do you want to talk about it?
I'm hurt. It hurts me deeply.
Well, so I only ever saw the first couple episodes, and I read a few of the manga chapters because that's how I consume a lot of my anime now is by manga. I just don't have time to watch all these shows, and manga I can just consume quickly.
Right.
And all that, and got like I don't even remember the last thing I even freaking read about like someone absorbed Jiraiya's spirit or some I can't remember.
Yeah, they brought Jiraiya back as a clone.
Yeah, that's
doesn't
right.
Have his full memories or whatnot, but
that's right.
Alive and active. The most recent big thing. Giant spoiler alerts, obviously for.
Yeah, spoilers for Boruto fans.
Boruto and Naruto. They killed off the nine-tailed fox, and now I want to cry.
What?
Yeah.
The fuck? Why?
Yeah. Which is why I've just completely sworn off the show. I'm like, listen, I no longer care what happens. Tell me when he comes back. But until then, I do not want to listen to a single thing about the show because it is to me my characters that I love too much.
Dude, to me, Naruto ended when he became Hokage at the end of
Naruto ended with Naruto. Strangely enough,
it did. Like I was really hoping because I followed the manga, dude. I followed that manga forever, man.
Yeah,
God, I was obsessed with it. Like that and One Piece were like the only mangas I would even read anymore.
So when I was the big three came out when I was in high school. And it was Bleach, Naruto, and One Piece. And I was like, listen, little Kuro, I can only dedicate myself because I like these. I can only dedicate myself to 2 out of the 3. So which one am I going to go with? And I went with Bleach and Naruto. And I have not regretted my decision whatsoever. I have completely 100% just like swore to never get into One Piece. Because I can only dedicate.
You need to get into it.
It's never gonna happen. It's too long. It's too long, and it's still going on.
No. You need to read the manga. Read the manga.
It's not happening.
Dude.
Especially no.
Dude. So I stopped reading the manga years ago, right? Of One Piece, and I decided last year to pick it back up again. It took me maybe like reading it every night, without fail. It took me like maybe 3 months to get it all done. Dude, so good. You need
listen. I acknowledge that it's like the top-selling manga on
the
planet. I acknowledge that it's good.
It is fucking amazing.
I will not touch it.
Dude, will not touch it. There were so many times the manga made me cry. Just fucking like this stupid anime about this group of friends and just like some of the stuff that happens. You're like, why am I breaking down inside? Oh god,
straw hat kid with a gum fruit. Yeah.
Oh god. No. And you know it's funny because I used to read all 3 like Bleach and then I swore off Bleach. What was it? Someone's told me like this happened multiple times, but it was the first time they captured Aizen, and then Ichigo lost his powers or whatever.
Yeah, so at the end of so they defeated Aizen finally, and then but Ichigo had to sacrifice his powers for it.
And then
And it was sweet. Those were good fights. And
Yeah.
then the next arc, because the series wasn't over, the next arc was him getting a different set of powers, not nearly as
Yeah.
powerful as before, but like a different set of powers. And then by the end of it, all the captains got together to give him his true powers. Because remember, he got his original powers from Rukia.
that's right. Yeah.
So he got a whole new form and everything because he was able to unlock his true him. And then the last arc was the Quincy War, the 1,000-Year Blood War, which was pretty dope.
I didn't watch or read any of that.
It is a worthwhile read
because it's completely over, right?
It is completely over.
So I could probably read it again. It probably wouldn't take me that long.
It wouldn't. You can even skip the Fullbringer arc. You can just skip it. Just skip to the end. Just go like from front to end and just go like, all right, his powers are back. Cool. Because that Fullbringer arc was a snooze fest.
All right, I'll read Bleach if you start One Piece.
No.
No, what?
That's fine. No, absolutely not. It's just not happening.
Is the main reason
because
is the reason because it's too long?
Yes.
I mean,
and then the secondary reason is because I promised I wouldn't, but because I've devoted myself to Bleach and Naruto. Like I went ham. My silly little name came from making a Bleach character and everything. I didn't take the name directly from Bleach before anyone asks, because most people are like, is that from Bleach? It's like, well, no, inspired by, but
yeah,
but no, it's like I love Bleach, love Naruto, and now I'm on seasonal anime. I cannot spend more of the very limited time I have between streaming and everything else to get into One Piece, because I have to catch up on every seasonal anime that I'm into, which there are a lot this season, and every other season. Yeah, it's just too much. But
I know, man. But
I gotta find time to watch Demon Slayer. I gotta go see Demon Slayer movie in theaters.
I've heard that's good. I've been hearing good things about it, but it's like, dude, there's too much freaking shit out there, man. I just can't keep up with it all. Like,
I agree.
It's just too much. It's too much, man. Just like, I have all these now that things are getting back to normal and all that stuff. Like, I accumulated, I don't know how many books throughout the couple months where we were kind of like displaced and all that. It's like, I have so many books I need to read,
right,
and all that. And it's because I read a lot, but I've had to stop the past couple months, and it's driving me crazy because I haven't had a spot to read. You know?
Yeah. And you're doing a lot, moving in.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh man.
There's always, but luckily anime is always there, mangas are always there, one way or another. Now, Magic over Spell Table is always there for us now, which is great. There's always Magic content to consume, whether it be streams or YouTube videos or everything. And our Magic decks themselves will always need constant upgrading and care.
Oh,
so, yeah.
And as far as like other content I'm trying to work on publishing my first D&D adventure module right now. And I'm in the play testing phase right now. Where it's small little module. I'm probably just going to put it up on like dmsguild.com and charge like probably like $1 or $2 or something like that. Just
there you go.
It's like my goal, like in my whole life, has been to get something published, even like whether it's a book or a module or something. I just want to say like
article.
Well, yeah, I read articles, but it's I just meant like something similar to like a book or something like that, right?
Okay, gotcha.
So it's like I could be like, yeah, I've authored a book before. Okay, it's a D&D adventure module, but you know what? Shut up.
As you push your glasses upwards, I've authored a couple tales in my day.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I'm excited about doing that. Just so much stuff, and on top of like trying to do life.
Yeah, life is hard.
Can be.
Life is.
So, I want to do something new that I've never really done in the podcast before.
We went through so many different conversations.
Yeah. No. This is normal for my podcast. I've never really done this before in the podcast for like everybody that I've ever interviewed, and I figured, I want to come back. I want to try something new in the show, and that I'm going to ask you a series of questions.
I'm down. Let's go.
It's going to range from like easy stuff to hopefully maybe some thought-provoking stuff. We don't know.
I'm ready.
So, all right. See how it answers, and if it's good and the audience likes it, I'll keep doing it with other people too. So, first one. What's the scariest animal?
Scariest animal? Probably just man. It's probably just man.
Humans?
Just mankind in general. Yeah, like, because animals in general, I feel, largely follow just, like, instinct. Or, just the instinct for food or warmth or shelter or, like, propagation, right? Humans could just be cruel because it's fun to them. And that is just unfathomably awful. I think it's definitely humans for sure, without a doubt.
I mean, can't complain about that. You're not wrong. What's the best sandwich?
Best sandwich? Probably a panini of pretty much any variety you want. Warm meat and melted cheese is just, there's just nothing better. Slightly warmed lettuce too. Oh, yeah.
Sounds good. I'm hungry now.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of using your senses, what is your least favorite smell?
Probably like when I smell so bad I can smell myself. That's when I know. So I've smelled bad for like at least a day.
Or longer.
Or longer. So that's my least favorite, because I know that I've messed up for a while and it's only just now getting to me.
Especially during this pandemic, man. There's been times I've gone like a week without a shower because it's like you're not going anywhere. You don't think about it or anything, and
then you have to go somewhere and you're just like,
oh shit, I gotta shower, put on clothes, and look decent and stuff.
Yeah.
All right. So So on the opposite side, what's your favorite smell?
Favorite smell? Honestly, probably just it's just good food. Just good food. Even if it's like, bad food, but I'm really hungry, so I mean it's always gonna be good. Like just the dopamine hit that you get from just like, I'm hungry, I want to eat, and there is open food in this direction. I'm like, it's for me. Nothing better.
Well, speaking of food, what would you pick for your last meal?
I would probably a really, really good authentic ramen bowl from Japan.
Ooh, yeah. That sounds good. I have
I
not had real ramen in like forever.
I went to, in 2018, I went to Japan and I had that real authentic ramen. It was divine. So it would be that, because it's just nothing like it. There are some, the US, there are, at least I have like one restaurant that does recreate it rather well, but
I think the first time I ever had authentic ramen was in South Korea. And that was so ridiculously good. The next time I had it was when I used to have to go to work every day in Tampa. We had this mall, had a food court, and a ramen shop opened up, or a ramen restaurant opened up, and it was like expensive to get a bowl of ramen, but dude, it was so good. I mean, not as good as what I had in Asia, but oh man, like, I mean, you compare it to the cheap ramen you get at stores and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, you can make that stuff good. You add some spices and stuff to it and whatnot, but
and cut half of that salt packet in half.
Right?
Because
God,
man, that's gonna kill. That takes years off your life every time
oh, dude, I ate
you
so
put a
much in
full packet in
college.
there.
I ate so much in
Yeah,
college, man.
yeah, I know, me too.
Dude, and what got me really hooked on ramen was Naruto. Just like like him eating ramen. Because like I would eat ramen before that and all, but
Right.
but watching the anime show and even reading it,
Mm-hmm.
like back in college, I was like, oh hell yeah, just gonna freaking
Yep.
try to
Absolutely.
experience more ramen and all that shit. Oh god,
Mm-hmm.
I want ramen now. So a thing of
Good.
ramen would be your last meal. That'd be
Yeah. Good all authentic ramen. Yes.
now. It would you get like a huge bowl of it, like just try to eat as much as you can until like you can't eat anymore, or just
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Why
yeah.
not?
I mean, it's your last meal. It's
Where am I going? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what else do I got to do that day?
I mean, yeah. If you're gonna go, it's like, whoever's around you, they got to take care of you, not me.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. You pick up the check. Sue me.
Right? All right, you get one song to listen to the rest of your life. What is it?
It's probably Scarecrow by My Chemical Romance because that's my favorite song. So I could probably listen to that and repeat.
I've never listened to My Chemical Romance.
I'm a '90s kid. It happens like that, I guess.
I mean, I've probably heard them on the radio, but I don't know that
Yeah.
song.
Yeah. Anyone in the audience who recognizes that song, you get Kuro points.
Nice. Nice. What's one thing you own that you should really throw out? Looking at all the magic cards.
Hold on, let me.
What is that?
I don't know. This is a Mox box.
Oh.
You're supposed to use it for cubes, but instead,
Oh. What's in it?
Oh, just a couple commander decks.
Ooh.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12. Just like 12 casts. Fine.
So that's one
And
thing
I
you
ran
should
out of room.
throw out?
No. I should throw out. No. Especially as a streamer and a gamer, I can't say like, oh, I should get rid of this PlayStation. It's really like taking all my time. It's like, no. I don't know. Probably. This bed frame.
Bed frame?
Yeah, I need this bed frame to go so I can move my room around. Because it takes up so much space. I don't like
What's
it.
stopping you from doing it?
I don't know how to sell a bed frame on the Facebook Marketplace. I have never done that before.
Bed frame $10.
Come get it.
Come get it.
Please take your truck and come get it.
Right.
Yeah, probably. Gotta take it apart. But yeah. So
Okay.
I will eventually do that. But that is what needs to go now, sooner rather than later.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. What's something people seem to misunderstand about you?
My tone.
Your what?
My tone.
Oh, tone. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I have a tone that when I don't know. I don't mean to be like completely dispassionate about like what someone's saying or whatever, but like I'm not necessarily surprised when people say weird things. I'm a freaking weeb that's grown up on the internet and just like around other weebs and everything. There's not a lot of things that people say that like, whoa, that's like kind of edgy and different and creepy or whatever. Like I've heard and seen a lot. So
especially if
like,
you've been on 4chan in the early days.
I wasn't on 4chan, but I have like the things about 4chan that like got to my bubble, you know, like the especially bad stuff. It's like, wow, all right, like that's another depth that humanity has reached. So I'm not like surprised. So when people kind of, I don't know, people. So I seem like I don't really like care.
Interesting.
When I'm just like, oh yeah, that is a weird thing that was said. Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm still interested in the conversation, but I'm just
Yeah,
not
yeah.
surprised by you
No, no,
saying it.
no.
So yeah,
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. If you could have dinner with any three people, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
Uh,
I like this question because it's
Live.
so many interesting people, even like, personal family members or famous people throughout history or even now.
All right. Well, whoever my soulmate's supposed to be, whatever the fates have in store for that. So let's start that dinner now,
Okay.
ladies. And then uh, let's go for. Ugh, history is full of so many racists, though.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah, like I want to say like Washington, but then I remember I don't want to say Washington because that dinner's gonna go south very quickly. Um.
Yeah.
Uh. Uh. Oh. Araki, the creator of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. That would be fantastic.
Okay.
Yes, his eternal youth. I want to find out his secret. Um. And my brother.
Brother?
Yeah, I'd love to sit down and have a dinner with him. It's always great.
Oh, it's interesting. So your
Yeah.
soulmate, the
Mhm.
creator of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and your
Mhm.
brother. All
Yes.
right. What do you think would even be talked about, like during that?
No clue. My brother does not watch JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I can hope that my soulmate does, so that would be fun. But yeah, that's fine. That's fine. He can sit through one dinner of me nerding out about anime. That's fine.
Oh, that'd be
He can
funny.
deal with it. He's getting a free meal. That's on him.
That's funny. And
Yeah.
the last question I have: what
Mhm.
motivates you to get up in the morning?
Uh, uh, I would honestly, strangely enough, I would say to like get home and stream, like as kind of segue-ish as that sounds. I really do enjoy it. It is kind of like the thing that I put my most pride and joy in. And it would be that like just because I stream pretty much like every weekday basically. So I get
Mm-hmm.
up, go to work, wait for that clock to wait for those customers to leave, and then come home, and it's just like, what am I gonna play today? So yeah, that's what motivates me to stream at night.
So is it like one of your eventual goals to like try to be a Twitch partner or streamer or anything like that?
I mean, yeah, I would love that. That certainly is a big old sign that says, "Hey, you made it, kid. Good job." Yeah, I would love that. That would be a huge sense of accomplishment. Um, and a lot of time and effort. And I know to get there, I would have to put like a lot right into it, like even more than I do now. So it's just
Yeah.
like the person that I would be by the time that happens is like such a awesome version of myself that I want to get there ASAP. I I want to skip personal growth and just get to that end part and just be like,
It's
wow,
a
you're an
lot of
awesome
work.
dude. You're
Yeah.
partner now.
But
Yeah.
would that be something you'd really want to do full time though,
Um.
or
Yeah.
still just maybe part time?
No, that's fine. I could do it full time. It's just another part of life to explore.
Yeah.
I work retail now. I pretty sure I could work retail again later.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but Twitch would be something far more unique and interesting, and I really just kind of like want to be able to. I want to be at a point where I can meet wonderful people like yourself. I mean, I met you through Mari.
Mm-hmm.
I think I raided Mari once off of Arena, and like this friendships have formed that way. So I like to meet really awesome people, and I want to be popular enough where I can then play games with those people. So that's largely what it is. I want to be cool enough where people are like, hey, Kuro, you want to play Commander? And I'd be like, yes, Mark Rosewater, absolutely. Yes, Professor, that'd be fantastic. You know,
No, those
one of
are
those days. Yeah, one
yeah.
of the goals.
Well, the only advice I have to give for that, like if you want that to happen, also ask those people too. You know, it's
Mm-hmm.
like the way I've gotten a lot of people on my podcast is like with you, I just ask them. You know,
That's
and
true.
the way I've played Commander with a lot of the, you know, I don't know, top Magic personalities and all this stuff, just
Mm-hmm.
ask them. You know,
Yeah,
I mean, what's the worst happens? They say no. Okay, cool, move on. Just
yeah.
don't be
Yeah,
afraid of rejection because it's gonna happen.
not being afraid of rejection. That's so hard. That's so hard to get over.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Failure is one of the hardest things. Like I learned that lesson yesterday. I failed at something in my job yesterday, and it was a big ego blow
Mm-hmm.
to me because it's you know what I do for my day job is it's I'm a network architect and I have to do like network cutovers for hospitals and all that, and
Mm-hmm.
I failed at doing it, and it was and I'm not saying like I'm some hot shot network architect and all that stuff. Like there's still a lot I don't know, but
Mm-hmm.
I felt confident going in that I could get it done, and then when you
Mm-hmm.
fail, you're just like, fuck.
Dang.
Like
Yeah.
so hard on yourself, and I ended up working like 13 plus hours yesterday, and just
Mm-hmm.
woke up this morning and just really had to sit back and reflect why I failed. You know,
Right.
so I mean that's the important thing is like when you fail, just reflect on why. Like go through the motions, right? Because I feel like it's important to go through those motions, feel that emotion of you know failure, like get it out, like don't hold it in or whatever. Get all
Mm-hmm.
that misery out, and maybe that's a bad, you know, bad advice or something. But
Nah, that's
I'm of
fair.
the school of thought of don't hold it in, just get it
Right.
out, process it, and
Right.
then
Learn from it.
yeah, and then just fucking realize, life sucks sometimes.
Yeah.
Or
Like it's how you deal with it, right? It's
yeah,
just like
yeah.
making the same mistake again. That would be even worse. So let's just never let it happen again,
Hmm.
and keep on pushing forward.
What's been some of the stuff that you've that trying to become a full-time Twitch streamer or just even Twitch partner, right? That's hard, right? Because you got to meet the
Yeah.
milestones of, you know, having X amount of hours, X amount of viewers and all that
Hmm.
stuff. How have you been dealing with, like, have you been seeing growth happening or have you not been seeing what you want, and how have you been handling that?
I mean, I certainly haven't seen the growth that I would want to have for sure. That average viewer number is something that definitely eats away at you. Definitely, it goes up, down. Doesn't stay. Certainly doesn't stay consistent. Um, and like I want to grow it. Of course, it because that would be that's I think like the
Hmm.
most visceral sign of just like, hey, you're doing better. Um, and watching the community grow and everything. Uh, and I guess like how to what the question was like how to approach it or
Yeah, like how have you been dealing with it?
okay,
You know, just in terms of, like not seeing the growth or seeing the growth you've been seeing, or
right.
like the results
Uh,
that you want to see or haven't been seeing.
I I deal with it by like I said every day I wake up because wake up and like the exciting thing is to like what am I gonna play tonight? Hopefully today goes well. Hopefully the games are fun, and the person who got me into streaming, it was a streamer named Saslin, and kind of just like the way she streams, she's very honest like with herself. She's very like the person that you see on the camera is the person that I've met in real life. And that that kind of like filled me with the hope that like, wow, you don't have to be someone that you're not. You can be yourself. Ideally, not a douchebag, right? Which I
Yeah.
certainly try not to be. So it's just like I feel, I hopefully I can reach enough eyes, meet enough people see my personality, like that personality, want to hang out and everything, and then grow, that way. And I just kind of approach every day going like, hopefully I meet someone new today. Hopefully, um, I just keep on being true to myself, being honest with the camera, the audience, the games that I like to play, and just keep doing that, and obviously try to make things more engaging for the chat and everything. Do that extra effort. Don't just be lazy and be like, oh, I'm perfect. People will just flock to me if
Yeah.
I just keep being me, right? It's like, oh, you got to do.
Oh, there's a
You got to
lot of
do
work you got to
more.
put into it. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's just like as long as I kind of stay the course on being myself and then also improving who I am as a person, ideally that will lead to the growth that I want to see. And some days it definitely feels like, all right, I used to do this, I don't do this anymore, and it's led to growth. That's awesome. Some days it's just like, oh my god, what did I do?
I don't know what you mean.
But yeah, I keep moving forward, because if I stop and stare at the number, I won't get anywhere. Now I do have to definitely get off my ass and be far more like uh more forward momentum on making the changes that I want, like getting rid of this damn bed frame so I can move my room around. Like I definitely have to just get over that and do it. And that's like, the procrastination is definitely like the hardest part
Oh
for
yeah.
me
Oh yeah.
personally. I know for a lot of people I know it's just like being able to turn on that camera every night, or
Yeah,
or like getting
I
things
don't know
out and
how some people
everything.
do it every night.
Yeah.
Like podcast interviews, I love this.
Mm,
Right? It's
right.
streaming. It's not for me. It's really
Yeah.
not. Like I've tried to get into it. Like I love streaming Commander. Like I said earlier on in the
Mm,
show, love it. But streaming Arena, or even just streaming anything else by myself, it's even if I have chat going, I feel like I still have to be on
right.
in a sense, because there's a lot of still mental prep I need to do. Like even
Mhm.
doing this interview, there's still like mental prep I need to do to just sort of not be a fake version of myself, right? But just
Right.
more of not my
Comfortable.
normal, like, oh yeah, okay, like
Right.
like
How you doing today?
yeah, hey, how's it going?
Right. Right. Absolutely. I completely get that. And each person is different, right? I don't have the issue with turning on the camera, but I do have people reach out to me. It's just like, how do you do that? Like, how do you um get uh that feeling of turning the camera on and starting? And for me personally, that's it's not
Yeah.
something I struggle with, but I definitely struggle with like bigger things, like making sure that my chat sounds are on, so that like when something does happen I can hear it and then respond to it. I still haven't fixed that issue. I still haven't gotten rid of this bed frame. I still haven't done other general things. This damn frame, I want it gone.
Do it
I still
tomorrow.
haven't.
Tomorrow you're gonna wake up and you're gonna figure out a way to
Mhm.
get rid of it, even if you don't sell it and just throw it away.
I
You're gonna figure out a
I
way.
sure hope so. I sure hope. I'm off tomorrow. I really should. Like that.
Y-
That's the thing. I know
you're
for a
gonna lay
fact that
down
I
in
should.
bed tonight after this interview and just think about,
Mhm.
how do I get rid of that frame.
Yes, I really should do that. Check with me in a week.
All right,
Whoever's listening to this, check with me.
because this should
See if I move
release
that frame.
this Friday. So
All right, sounds good. Hopefully, I'll at least have taken it apart or something, something. But yeah, like that's what I struggle with, like making those changes that I know I need to make, but don't. I've definitely rested on my laurels too much of being like, oh, I'll just turn on the camera and go. But I need to do more. I need to focus on that more aspect. So
yeah.
yeah, that's just different issues for everyone. But eventually, hopefully, we all get over that hump, and we get to live our best lives.
Yeah, it's just one day at a time. Just try to do your best, or I don't know,
Yeah,
something.
yeah. Turn on that camera, take down that frame.
You keep looking at it now. You're like, oh,
I
it
hate it. It's just so big. It
just
just takes up so much room.
just do it. I mean, it's all you gotta do. Just do it. It's
I do just have to do it.
it's what I told my wife. So my wife got her first job in like 10 years, because
Mhm.
she had to leave her job when she got pregnant with our daughter, and
Mhm.
and at the time, like, I was making no money, at the time, and apparently, according to the government, I was making too much money to have any kind of assistance. Like, dude, I was making like less than 30,000 a year, and it's like, nope, you can't. You can't qualify for assistance. I'm like, you understand? Like, we're living on scraps right now.
Right. Yeah. It's a weird metric.
I know. Well, fucking Florida, man. Or I mean, I don't know how it is like federally and all that stuff, but so my wife had to quit her job to take care of our daughter and all that stuff, and and now that we're in a place now where I'm working at home, right? So I can pick up and drop off the kid and all that stuff, do whatever I need to do. And she can go work now. And I basically told her, like, same thing, like, just go do it. You want a job? Just go. Do it. Apply. Right. And she did. And I'm going to give you the same advice. Just do it.
Yeah, just do it.
Do it. Like
great Shia LaBeouf said.
Like, one of the things that I really think about that, because one of the things I have a hard time with is, like, on my days off, I have nothing to do, right? I try to come up with a list of just like the smallest things, even to feel like a little bit of accomplishment. Maybe that's some of my ADHD kicking in and all that. So just really, tomorrow's your day off. Think like, okay, I'm going to take apart this bed frame and get rid of it somehow. And then, I can do whatever the fuck I want the rest of the day. I don't give a shit, But reward yourself that way.
Yeah. I should. I reward myself mainly with the games and then play the games all day and then don't get the things done. So I should probably work in that reverse order. You're right. I think I had my the triggers on the stack did not resolve the way they should have.
No. And like I said, everybody's differently. That's just what I do, because it's like when I'm working, even though I'm working at home, like I'm constantly busy, right? Like I'm sitting in front of the screen, but I'm constantly doing stuff. And by the time like I'm done with work, like I'm exhausted, like mentally I'm drained because it's just what I do. And but yeah, man, just do it. That's all you gotta do.
Just do it. You're not wrong. Not wrong.
So even if you end up throwing away and not selling it or anything, it's gone though, right?
How much do people put bed frames on sale for?
I don't.
What is the metric for bed frames?
Well, what size is it? Like a twin, full, queen, full?
A full. Yeah.
I mean, you could probably sell it $10-$20 or something.
$10-$20.
I guess. I don't know.
I see. Right. It's like
Like hell, if you get $20 for it, that's $20, man.
That's a pack of collector boosters,
right?
No, it's less than that, I guess.
Yeah, I don't even know how much collector boosters are or anything. But
too much money for the little you get back.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh man. So
I've never regretted getting product more than this set.
Oh, Strixhaven?
The value is just so low. Yeah, I think I love the set's awesome. It's just that the single card value is just so low because so many people have opened it.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's good for someone like me because I really want to build a commander deck out of the Silver Quill Dragon.
Yes.
Shandrix?
Shadrix, yeah.
Or Shadrix or whatever. He just looks so much fun to build. Like, just such a political commander.
I like Brina, the black-white from the commander deck herself. I think that she does... Like, Shadrix slots right into that deck for sure. I think that she gives the passive...
you think she's
everyone
better?
Hit everyone else but me, like, more consistently. She also costs 3, which is...
Okay. So. Let me see. Because I've got the deck right here.
Mm-hmm.
So, talking about Brina, this one.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Yeah.
So, whenever a player attacks one of your opponents, if that opponent has more life than another of your opponents, that attacking player draws a card and you put 2. Okay, right. I see what you mean.
That's on turn 3.
Yeah.
So, turn 3, if someone
possibly turn 2.
Yes, true. Possibly turn 2.
Okay.
And now, like, your allies are drawing cards. You're putting 2+1+ encounters on Brina every turn or something, or whatever you want. Like, that'll do more, I think, consistently than Shadrix. As much as I do appreciate
my only rebuttal to that is Shadrix looks way cooler. Is a dragon.
Yeah, that's true.
Than Brina.
I mean, you have the alternate art or no?
I don't have Shadrix at all.
Okay, you gotta get the full art,
of
course, right? Yeah. In that case, I retract my statement. build Shadrax, but put Brina in it.
Yeah, Brina's better, but
Yeah.
Shadrax looks cooler, and it's like you can't
It's
win
a
with that
dragon.
argument. It's a dragon.
I retract my statement. I got nothing left in the deck. I've been milled out.
Oh man, dude, it's been 2 hours we've been going on. It's crazy.
Yes, indeed. It's a long episode.
Okay, well this.
I rambled. I apologize.
Oh no, you're fine. This is a pretty average episode length. I try to go. So where can people find you? Well, let's wrap things up. Where can people find you? Any shout outs you want to do or anything like that? Go on ahead.
I mean, there's so many people who have affected my life wonderfully. I would say shout out to Radical Mari, who definitely got us in contact with each other.
Yes.
She is absolutely fantastic.
I love her. She's great.
Yes, definitely go visit her. She's fantastic. Shout out to Sasson, who got me started on this Twitch journey in the first place. And honestly, just shout out to any of the content creators that you appreciate and like to watch, whether it be me, whether it be anyone else that you meet on Twitch. Just go to their stream or any of their content and just leave a message just telling them, thank you. I really appreciate your content. Even if you watch it once a week or like every day.
Dude, that feels so good. It's because there's so I wrote an article about this. Maybe I'll link it to you.
Mm-hmm. Yes, please do.
Talking about like how it so often it feels like you're just talking into the void, right? And just like everything you're doing, just there's no audience or anything like that. And when you get that one person saying, "Hey, I really enjoyed this," or "Hey, I really like your stream," or whatever, it's like, holy shit, feels good.
Yeah. I had someone the other day that's just like, I usually lurk, but like, I really enjoy being here. You got me started on doing this, that, and the other. And then from that, I'm just like, thank you. That makes me feel amazing. Do you play Commander? Let's play some Commander. And then now we have like Commander scheduled for this Friday. So it's just like, you never know what happens. But yeah, those people really do love hearing those kind words. It affects more than you know.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, you can find me at twitch.tv/Kurohitsuki. You can find out the spelling, I guess, from the
Well, the links will be in the show notes and all that.
Yeah. But yeah, I like playing Rainbow Six Siege, Magic the Gathering, a lot of the Commander. Apparently, Is It Phoenix is in Historic, so I will be returning to Arena to strictly play that.
We also need to do some League.
Yes, actually, League of Legends will play some of that too.
Yeah, I need to get back into it. I got I bought Pokemon Sword for the Switch.
Okay.
And it's the first Pokemon game I've played since Pokemon Ruby, which was and so like I'm not like that big into Pokemon, but holy shit, I've been loving the game. Like it's been, I've like 60 hours dropped into it already, and
it's not even over yet, right?
No, I'm trying to catch them all now. I haven't even got the DLC yet, and I'm like this obsessed.
Yeah, Pokemon has DLC now. What a time!
I know, right?
Right.
But yeah, we need to get into League. I need to do it.
Yes,
I'm utter trash, but it's okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty bad at most of the games I play, especially when I first start them. I'm just now getting used to Apex Legends again. That's been a lot.
My wife, that's like one of the only games she plays. She is fucking good. Holy shit. I'll sit down and watch her play, and I'm just like, she'll fucking win so much. Like doing like the solo, like not with a group or whatever. She'll fucking win so much, and I'm just like, holy shit. And
all right, I gotta post some of her gameplay. I need.
She doesn't stream or anything like that. Or she tried to get into it, but she's like, and that's what sucks with women in gaming and all that. Like she got so much fucking harassment, and she's like, nope.
Yep.
And I didn't blame her. It's just a quick little blurb. Like, I knew that women would get harassed online and all that stuff, but I guess you never really understand how much until it affects someone you actually know. And you actually see how it happened, see how much.
And that's not just online. That's how typically it works in life too.
Yeah.
Sadly.
But
Yeah.
yeah. So you're on Twitter at Kurohitsuki.
Yep. Twitter at Kurohitsuki, Twitch Kurohitsuki.
Do you have like
I don't have.
Instagram or TikTok or?
I do have an Instagram, Kurohitsuki TTV, because my name is too close to an anime, so I couldn't. I needed to add the TTV. And yeah, I'll make it TikTok eventually. I know that's the thing that I should do. I just got to figure out. I need an editor to edit these clips down, but.
I just make the dumbest stuff on TikTok, so it's okay.
Yeah, I gotta start somewhere. I gotta start that soon. But I'll start that after I move this bed frame.
Yes, you're gonna do it. You're gonna do it.
I'm gonna burn this thing, I swear. But,
that's what
yeah.
you gotta post, like an Instagram story of, or that could be your first TikTok. Like, oh, I gotta take apart this bed frame and all that.
Right, and it'll just be a speed through of me taking a hatchet to it and just breaking it. That would be great.
All right, man. All right. Well, I'm gonna thank you thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Oh no, thank you. It was great time. Hope you really enjoyed it. And for anybody listening, watching out there, make sure to check out Kuro. Really cool dude and just really awesome dude.
Thank you. Thank you. And you as well. We will definitely play some games.
Yes.
Play some more Commanders, some League of Legends, all of the above.
Yes, awesome. Well, have a good night, all right?
All right, you too. Have a wonderful night.
Thank you all for listening to the show. I hope you all really enjoyed that interview as much as I did. And Kuro's really good people, really fun to have on them. We played Commander on stream a couple weeks ago, and it was just fun time. Like, it just instantly was fun, and we instantly connected like that. So hope you all really enjoyed the episode. Make sure to check out his stuff, check out his Twitter and Twitch and all that, and it'd be really awesome if you did, and send him some love. And let me know what you thought about the show. We did a little bit of different things as well too, and let me know if you liked it or not. And yeah, so hope you all have a great night, and thank you all for listening and watching.